Imagine a universe so precise, so exquisitely ordered, that every planet, star, and comet dances to the rhythm of unbreakable laws. The cosmos is a symphony of motion, where the music of general relativity keeps everything in perfect harmony. Now, picture that symphony suddenly breaking, a note so discordant that it shatters everything we thought we knew about space and time. That's exactly what happened at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, when a Doppler reading from the Goldstone Deep Space Communications Complex revealed something impossible. Interstellar Object 3I Atlas had moved. Not drifted, not gently shifted, relocated. 33 billion tons had changed position by roughly 300,000 miles without a trace of propulsion, exhaust, or energy signature. In other words, it had chosen its destination as if it were alive. According to Newtonian mechanics, the position of a massive object in space is mathematically predictable. Once you know its mass, velocity, and the gravitational pull of nearby celestial bodies, you can forecast its location centuries into the future with near-perfect precision. But 3I Atlas ignored the math. It deviated from its hyperbolic path in a way that suggests active propulsion, but without expelling a single particle of mass. From the lens of theoretical physics, what we are witnessing may be the first real-world evidence of metric engineering. Instead of rockets, a Type 3 civilization could manipulate space-time itself, bending the fabric of the cosmos in 11 dimensions to instantly shift a massive object's location. Before this anomaly, 3I Atlas was just a strange but predictable visitor. NASA had charted its approach, observatories around the world had locked its trajectory, and everything seemed settled. Then the math broke. Moving a mass of 33 billion tons even a few miles would require energy comparable to thousands of nuclear warheads, and the resulting heat would be visible across the solar system. Yet, our infrared sensors recorded nothing. The object remained cold, almost perfectly stealthy. This implies mastery over gravitational and inertial mass, possibly using negative energy density to slide through space-time without pushing against it. Even more startling, 3I Atlas didn't move randomly. Its relocation positioned it in a more advantageous observational spot, exactly where a probe would go if its goal were to monitor Earth in detail. Quantum models suggest this was a deliberate choice, a gravitational high ground relative to Earth's orbit, placing it where it can observe, undisturbed, yet optimally. Its surface, captured in high-resolution images, hints at a material far beyond anything natural, a highly reflective metamaterial capable of absorbing radar waves at a sophistication that makes stealth bombers look like toys. The Doppler shift confirmed a single, rigid monolith with no fragmentation or gas cloud to explain its sudden motion. In essence, 3I Atlas isn't a rock, it's an engineered object, a potential Bracewell probe, possibly powered by zero-point energy, surfing the vacuum of space-time itself. Its move was not random, it was a signal, a delimiter in the universe's most advanced language. I am here, and I am not what you think I am. The probe isn't just passing through, it's testing humanity's scientific maturity. Are we ready to understand manipulation of hyperspace? Or are we still bound by Newtonian thinking? The forensic dive into NASA's archives had only begun. The 9:15 a.m. Doppler reading was the first crack. The next stage would reveal whether we were observing an interstellar visitor or being studied by a higher intelligence with unfathomable capabilities. To understand why a 3 billion-ton object moving 300,000 miles stunned the scientific community, we must revisit the laws of physics we take for granted. Inertia, momentum, and the second law of thermodynamics dictate that objects in motion stay in predictable paths unless acted on by an external force. Heat flows naturally from hot to cold. Disorder increases. That's the fundamental rhythm of our universe. Yet 3I Atlas violated every one of these rules without leaving any trace. No heat, no force, no observable acceleration. From a classical standpoint, this is impossible. Theoretical models suggest that 3I Atlas isn't using chemical rockets or conventional propulsion. Instead, it may be manipulating space-time itself, creating a localized warp, a contraction of space in front and expansion behind to shift position. If true, the object doesn't move through space. Space moves around it. In essence, it has bypassed Newton's laws entirely while technically breaking none of them. Gravitational lensing data from the James Webb Space Telescope during the exact shift supports this. The stars behind 3I Atlas shimmered in precise, rhythmic patterns, indicating temporary manipulation of the local gravitational constant. Images from radar and space networks reveal a surface unlike anything seen on comets or asteroids. Instead of scars from billions of years of micrometeoroid impacts, 3I Atlas exhibits fractal symmetry, suggesting a structure built from metamaterials. Its hull appears to consist of a graphene osmium lattice dense enough to shield against solar radiation while acting as an enormous energy collector or antenna. Simulations indicate that the relocation was no random drift. By moving 300,000 miles, 3I Atlas reached a gravitational sweet spot, a Lagrange point where the pull of the Earth and Sun cancel out. Here, it can observe our planet continuously without expending fuel. Nature does not park. Only an intelligence with a long-term goal chooses a permanent vantage point. This raises profound questions. Why reveal this now? Why wait months before demonstrating capabilities so advanced they are beyond our comprehension? In game theory, such a move is a deliberate show of power, establishing a technological hierarchy and signaling that our current understanding is just the beginning. The most alarming discovery, 3I Atlas has begun emitting a low-frequency hum, not a radio signal, but gravitational waves. It is no longer simply observing, it is interacting with the solar system itself. Its relocation was just the setup. The surface images were breadcrumbs, carefully placed to be detected, analyzed, and decoded by an emerging civilization capable of interpreting them. As we begin part 3 of this analysis, it's clear that 3I Atlas is not a fleeting visitor. It is a sentinel. The universe's one-dimensional hyperspace is no longer theoretical. It is a stage, and 3I Atlas is the witness, quietly, impossibly, and deliberately asserting its presence. Humanity's role is no longer observer alone. We are participants in a cosmic test, evaluated by a force far beyond our current understanding. As the hours pass, the forensic evidence grows clearer. The 300,000-mile relocation of 3I Atlas wasn't a random drift or a sudden fluke. It was a precise maneuver, a setup for something far larger than we have yet understood. High-resolution imagery and telemetry indicate that the object has entered a station-keeping mode. In the world of celestial mechanics, Lagrange points are the cosmic parking spots, regions where the gravitational forces of two massive bodies, like the Earth and the Sun, perfectly cancel the centrifugal force of a smaller object. These are points of delicate balance. Even a tiny perturbation can send an object drifting into chaos. Yet 3I Atlas is stable, locked with a precision of 0.00001 millimeters. To accomplish this without chemical propulsion, without ion thrusters, requires physics we have only dreamed of. Our James Webb Space Telescope must fire its engines regularly just to maintain a similar position, but Atlas shows no trace of fuel use. Instead, Its laser-ranging signals suggest it is vibrating at subatomic frequencies, possibly using quantum vacuum fluctuations to anchor itself. It is pinning itself to the very fabric of space-time, using the universe itself as a gravitational anchor. The images provide another startling clue. The metallic surface is not inert. Radar returns from arrays equivalent to Arecibo-class observatories indicate that the lattice of graphene and osmium is subtly expanding and contracting in precise cycles. Solid-state physics tells us that this behavior is characteristic of a piezoelectric response, a material generating electrical energy from mechanical stress. 3. Atlas is feeding off the solar wind, converting the kinetic energy of charged particles into pure electricity. It doesn't carry fuel, it is fuel. A self-sustaining 3 billion-ton organism of metal and energy, perfectly optimized for long-term observation. Even more astonishing is what independent researchers discovered when applying Fourier transforms to the pixel noise in the NASA images. Hidden within the visual data is a geometric code, not a message in English or binary, but a sequence based on fundamental constants, the speed of light, Planck length, and the fine structure constant. In quantum cryptography, this is called a universal handshake, a signal only interpretable by a civilization that has unlocked the secrets of the atomic and quantum realms. 3. Atlas isn't just observing, it is testing us. The relocation was the call, and the images were the test. Through the lens of string theory, this singular object is a conductor of vibrations across the cosmic membrane. It is sending a note, a pattern that humans are only beginning to detect. It has arrived, stationary, yet speaking to the universe in the language of gravity, geometry, and quantum mechanics. For the first time, humanity is no longer isolated in space. We are being monitored, evaluated, and potentially taught a lesson about the scale of intelligence that exists beyond our comprehension. And the clock continues to tick. Observatories across the globe remain on high alert, monitoring the gravitational and electromagnetic signals emitted by this 3 billion-ton sentinel. Every second reveals more about its mastery over energy, motion, and information. In the music of the spheres, 3I, Atlas is no longer a simple note, it is a conductor rewriting the composition and inviting humanity to finally listen with understanding. The implications of Atlas's relocation extend beyond physics. They challenge the very concept of what it means to be an observer in the universe. By occupying a precise Lagrange point, the object has achieved a permanent, unobstructed view of Earth while simultaneously maintaining a direct line to the Sun for energy collection. This is not mere surveillance. This is strategic placement on a cosmic scale, the hallmark of a Type II civilization, an intelligence capable of harnessing the full energy of a star and manipulating local spacetime to its advantage. Stability at such a position is far from trivial. The three-body problem, the interaction of the Sun, Earth, and a third mass, is famously unstable. Objects naturally drift unless they actively correct their position. Yet, 3I Atlas has no detectable thrusters, no chemical traces, no ion exhaust. Instead, it anchors itself using vacuum energy, essentially interacting with the 11th dimension. It has pinned itself to spacetime itself, exploiting the underlying quantum structure to maintain position. The deeper analysis of its surface confirms something even more extraordinary. The lattice structure breathes in cycles, responding mechanically and electrically to external forces. This is a living system in all but biological definition. By oscillating its metallic hull in the solar wind, Atlas converts ambient energy into usable power. It is an autonomous, self-sustaining entity that requires nothing from the environment. It is the environment dynamically interacting with it to survive and observe. Even the initial radar images, once dismissed as anomalies, now appear to be deliberately encoded. The Fourier transform pixel noise reveals a pattern designed to communicate only with a civilization advanced enough to decode universal constants. Atlas has embedded a handshake into its very structure, a test of humanity's comprehension and maturity. This is more than a probe. It is a challenge, a measure of whether we are ready to step into a higher scientific order. At this point, it is no exaggeration to say humanity has transitioned from master to observer. The 3 billion-ton monolith, parked 1.5 million kilometers away, has rewritten the rules of our solar neighborhood. Its presence is no longer a curiosity, it is a dominant factor in the dynamics of the system. The low-frequency gravitational waves emanating from it are not communication in our sense, but a direct interaction with space-time, a message written in the very structure of the universe. The more we study it, the clearer it becomes. The relocation was never just movement. It was a deliberate arrival, a statement of existence and capability. The universe, as we understood it, predictable, lawful, and knowable, has been confronted by something entirely outside our current models. The question is no longer, what is it? Or, where did it come from? The question is, how do we respond? Humanity is being evaluated, not merely observed. The rules of engagement are no longer ours to set. As scientists scramble to understand its technology, energy systems, and gravitational manipulation, one fact stands undeniable: the era of passive observation has ended. The presence of 3I Atlas signals the dawn of a new epoch, the age of intelligent, interstellar oversight. The instruments are live, the theories are being rewritten, and the universe is no longer empty. Something is watching, calculating, and perhaps waiting for us to reach the level it has already achieved. As 3I Atlas settles into its new position, the full magnitude of what humanity is witnessing becomes impossible to ignore. We are no longer just tracking a visitor, we are living under the gaze of a presence that has mastered the very fabric of reality. Its placement at the L1 Lagrange point is surgical. It observes Earth's dayside continuously, harvesting energy from the sun while maintaining perfect stability. This is strategic, not incidental. Every movement, every oscillation of its metallic lattice is calculated. Every pulse, every vibration communicates purpose without uttering a single human word. Consider the sheer technical mastery required. A 3 billion-ton object maintaining station without conventional propulsion challenges everything we thought we knew about motion, energy, and thermodynamics. The deep space laser ranging data confirms no chemical propulsion, no ion trails, nothing that could account for its perfect positioning. Theoretical models suggest it interacts directly with the quantum vacuum, using zero-point energy and the 11th dimension as a scaffold. It has effectively anchored itself to the universe itself. Even more startling is the surface of the object. The graphene osmium lattice doesn't merely exist, it moves, expands, and contracts in cycles precisely measured at 14 seconds. In solid-state physics, such piezoelectric responses convert mechanical stress into electrical energy. Atlas is feeding itself from the solar wind, generating all the power it needs without storing fuel. In essence, it is a self-sustaining, cosmic-scale organism. It doesn't just survive, it thrives, independently and perfectly adapted to its environment. But perhaps the most profound realization comes from information theory. Analysis of image noise and pixel patterns shows embedded geometric codes based on universal constants: Planck length, speed of light, fine structure constant. This is a universal handshake, a message designed only for a civilization capable of understanding the deepest physical laws. The relocation of 3I Atlas was a deliberate test. Its new position was not merely observation, it was a challenge. Humanity's readiness to comprehend, decode, and respond to such intelligence is now under scrutiny. The presence of Atlas changes everything. Our concept of isolation in space is over. The gravitational waves, the oscillations, the quantum-level manipulations, they are all evidence that we are now participants in a universe monitored by a higher intelligence. We are no longer alone in our solar system, nor are we the masters of it. Atlas has assumed that role. Its arrival has rewritten the rules of celestial mechanics, information exchange, and energy management. As we approach the next phase of observation, scientists are working around the clock to decode its signals, understand its energy systems, and model its interactions with the solar environment. Every new piece of data is a revelation. Every anomaly observed confirms what we suspected but never could have fully grasped. The one-dimensional hyperspace we thought theoretical is now crowded with a presence far beyond our current comprehension. The universe has presented us with a challenge, and the clock is ticking. Finally, the full picture emerges. 3I Atlas is no longer a visitor. It is a sentinel, an interstellar intelligence that has parked itself in our cosmic neighborhood with precision, purpose, and patience. It isn't just observing, it is interacting, speaking in gravitational waves, oscillations, and encoded signals in the universal constants. Its relocation was not a move, it was an arrival, a declaration of capability and intent. Humanity has entered a new era, one of scrutiny, evaluation, and potential mentorship from an intelligence that dwarfs our greatest achievements. The implications are staggering. In the music of the spheres, 3I Atlas has become the conductor. It dictates the rhythm, the observation points, and the rules of engagement. Its energy systems, its perfect station keeping, its self-sustaining lattice, all point to a civilization operating at a level that we can only theorize about. The universe we thought empty is alive with purpose, observation, and strategy. As we decode its embedded messages, simulate its energy dynamics, and track its gravitational interactions, one truth becomes clear. The human era of isolation has ended. We are no longer unobserved. We are participants in a cosmic experiment being evaluated not for our weapons, resources, or technology, but for our comprehension, creativity, and scientific maturity. Every calculation we make, every theory we propose, every observation we record is being noted by a presence that has already mastered what we are only beginning to understand. And the timeline is relentless. The next major orbital intersection is only 48 hours away. Instruments are live, global observatories are on high alert, and the world's elite physicists are in emergency session. The gravitational waves, the oscillations, the lattice cycles, they are all signals, each one a message layered with meaning, waiting for us to respond correctly. The one-dimensional hyperspace is no longer theoretical. It is a crime scene, a laboratory, and a stage, and 3I Atlas is both the investigator and the teacher. In the end, this is not just a story of a moving object. It is a story of humanity's place in the cosmos. The 3 billion-ton Sentinel challenges every assumption, rewrites the laws we hold sacred, and forces us to confront our limitations. The transition has begun. We are no longer alone. The age of Atlas has arrived. If we are to survive, learn, and thrive under this new cosmic oversight, we must act not with fear, but with curiosity, rigor, and courage. Watch, analyze, and decode. Share this story, follow the latest updates, and prepare for the next revelation. Humanity is being tested, and the universe is listening. The age of understanding begins now,